A Wagley, how's my ship running?
Optimally, nothing to report for this journey, but that spill on the last trip has put us a week behind schedule.
It's not the end of the world for being late, but looks like we won't be getting our bonuses.
That's what happens when you let amateurs load insecure cargo on our ship. Unfortunately, Haley didn't catch that improper seal.
Well, Haley's only been with us for less than a year. It's one of our only mistakes since she's worked with us.
Yes, she is a good colleague, just mentioning that the systems of checks didn't save our bonuses. I do not blame her for being new, but what happened could have left us stranded or dead.
Anything else I should know?
Captain, I have a question regarding my leave request.
What's up with it? I thought it was already approved.
It is, but since we're delayed, could you authorize it to be shifted back by a week too?
I'll see that gets done. So, what's your plans when you're back on Mars?
Well, first, I need to do some paperwork with the ministries over there. My government wants a headcount and health assessment of its available man pool.
What's that for?
It seems tension between the powers on Earth seem to be boiling over on Mars. The Chinese administration on Mars wants a checkup on their strength there.
They can do that?
Yes, they're the government. Usually people that live on Mars have to deal with some extra government BS. This is especially true for citizens of China. Even more for me, since I served in the military.
Is that all you're doing for your whole month there? Seems like a hassle just to go back for government shenanigans.
Oh heck no. That whole thing should have finished in half a day. I'm mostly going to visit family and take a tour of Valles Marineris with my girlfriend. It has been a long time since I've returned to see them. I thought taking time off when I needed to go back for these so-called shenanigans would be a good opportunity to spend time with them.
So, where did you serve in the military?
I enlisted as a combat engineer for the Marines after trade school. Served across the outer solar system for 10 years when everyone was scrambling to claim anything there.
The outer solar system? Back when I just joined the company, I saw on the news that there were a lot of skirmishes. Company policy back then was to go with protected convoys because of all the piracy going on there. Did you see any combat out there?
No, not really. I was in some firefights when we were pacifying pirates. It's not really the Wild West anymore, since the countries on Earth launched policing actions there. Earth now has a stranglehold over the outer systems. I was mostly doing what my military called community outreach programs.
Community outreach programs? Just from its name, it seems like a boring and uneventful assignment.
Well, not technically. It mostly involved giving settlements the option of becoming a vassal to China, or any Earth government that came along, voluntarily or through force. It was anything but uneventful. Luckily, I was a combat engineer, so I didn't need to do the nasty stuff if push came to shove with the locals.
That seems unfair to these settlements. Why would China annex land so far away?
Because everyone else was doing it too. It's just human nature to expand and conquer. We are in the twilight phase of the age of expansion in our solar system, so there's not so much space in space anymore.
Why would people even live so far away from Earth? Transporting goods this far takes months to years, depending on planetary alignment.
These people ran away from the core system for varying reasons. You don't build or live that far away unless you have something to hide. There were unconventional projects and unscrupulous people living life in obscurity until they what when we came.
What can you tell me about life on Mars?
It's quite nice compared to my parents' or even grandparents' time. I'm a third generation Martian. My grandparents were among the first settlers that moved to Mars permanently. They had to deal with Mars' weak gravity and scarcities everywhere. Nowadays, gravity is fine and we have massive domes so we can walk on the surface without suits. Though most of the infrastructure is still underground. We still have issues with water, hence why most of our jobs are transporting water.
So, I take it most of your family still lives on Mars?
Yes, most of them at least. A few returned back to Earth after they served their mandatory period, but we've grown accustomed to living on Mars. It's not a bad place to live in. We get subsidized accommodations, jobs with a meaningful purpose, and a lot of government support. That's why so many people from Earth are immigrating to Mars and beyond.
What do you mean by meaningful purpose?
Take Haley for example. Before working in space, she worked, if I remember correctly, as a street vendor and fast food worker. She left Earth to seek her fortunes here. The people I know back on Mars worked to expand the livability of Mars for us. Whether it's engineers terraforming Mars to be more livable or the sanitation worker turning waste into water, what we all do is to expand our presence on Mars, to make Mars our home.
Well, keep me posted if there's anything new.
Will do.
Hey Haley, how's the cleanup going along?